Hello there everybody, a very good morning to you all and welcome back to howtotrade.com. Welcome back to another live stream here in the trading room across our YouTube channel, Facebook, LinkedIn and of course on X as well. It's good to see you all and thank you very much for tuning in to our live Trend Rider strategy stream for today. Stream I do every single week. We've got some we've got some closed trades to talk about, and hopefully we're going to find some new opportunities following all of the Trend Rider rules. That's really going to be the goal for today. If you are around across YouTube or the trading room or anywhere where you're watching from, feel free to pop up and say hello. And if you do have any questions, then feel free to pop up and ask those as well. Little bit to talk about today. We've of course got the Bank of Canada interest rate decision, which will impact our thinking of when we're looking at the Trend Rider strategy, because obviously the USD versus the Canadian dollar is one of those pairs which is recommended to use on the Trend Rider strategy. So yeah, bear that one in mind. Just to give you a quick expectation, we're expecting the Bank of Canada to cut rates by 50 basis points, which is quite a big cut. I imagine most that's already been priced in, but it's still quite a big cut. Matthew, hello to you on our YouTube channel. Good to see you. Abdullahi on our Facebook channel. Good to see you as well. We also have Banasek on YouTube, and Nancy, hello to you. My day has started pretty well. And I hope yours has as well. Thank you very much for the kind message there. Who else have we got? We've got Dibble, hello to you, good morning. Marco, good morning to you. Hello to you, Jeanette. Martin174, good morning. Wizard Alvin. Ivy, hello. Are you still short on oil? No, I'm stopped out on oil. We'll talk about that. Devon, hello to you as well. Very good to see you. Thank you very much for the message. We also have Malik745, who's just sent me a message in the trading room. Hello to you, and thank you very much for tuning in. And Dillaby, good morning. Lots of people tuning in today, hopefully, to try and catch some nice Trend Rider moves. So let's just talk quickly, before I talk about Trend Rider, let's just have a quick look at my US 30 trade from yesterday. What a strange trade this was. Markets move in strange ways. So basically we traded I forgot where it was now because I actually removed it. Yes, it was there. We basically traded the US 30 off of this demand zone. It was a good confluence for us, for me. Well, 38.2% fib from the swing move, and also a 4 hour, I believe. Yes, sorry, 4 hour order block, which sat right on that level. Demand zone, order block, whatever you want to call it. And you can see we look exactly where that market reacted from. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I posted this trade idea in the room yesterday. In fact, I actually executed it live on my phone in front of you guys yesterday. So hopefully you managed to get some of this. We got up to 3.8 to 1, which is not bad for 1 4 hour candle. So as I always do, I follow my rules. I closed half of the position off at 1 to 1. When we hit 2 to 1, I closed a little bit more, and I also put the my stop loss to entry. And as you can see, rather frustratingly, it was that candle. Yeah, it was at 9 o'clock at night. We had this really huge move lower in power hour, as we like to call it. So I was a bit disappointed with that, but we did get stopped out entry. I mean, you could class, there's potential for another entry here. I'll think about it. I'm not 100% sure just yet. I have taken in total 1.5% profit on that trade itself. Let me just quickly double check that's right. Yeah, US 30, yeah. 10.97 lots, 15 lots, yeah. 42757, and then stopped out entry for the remainder of my trade. So overall, pretty successful. Did have someone messaging me regarding this, saying that being a bit frustrated about this trade because it was in such great profit, and they didn't take any partials or didn't take anything off the table, and admitted that it was a sort of a period of greed. And I get that. I understand why people may have left the trade alone. The reason I have rules in place is to stop things like this, or to stop me feeling emotional about trades. That's why I have these rules in place where if I reach a certain level, I take money off the table. If the markets are offering you profits, we should at least take some of them off the table. We shouldn't just leave our trades alone. If your strategy is to leave your trades alone, then that's fine. My strategy is I have a clear risk management plan, and that is that I've said it so many times, I take half off at 1-to-1, and then at 2-to-1, I do either two things. I always normally move my stop loss to entry, and then I always look at taking some more off the table. Always do that. Then I let the rest run. So yeah, probably missed out on another %, but I still managed to get some good profit there. So hopefully you guys managed to as well. We'll talk a little bit probably more in detail about it on Friday's session when we recap our live trades. Okay, good stuff. Right. Israel, I'm not sure if you can hear me on the stream. Good morning. Thank you for your free training. Just completed the Learn to Trade course. Received the certificate. How do I join the exclusive Inner Circle trading community? You are currently in it. You are currently in that inner circle right now. Where you are right now is our community. So very welcome and well done for completing that course and receiving that certificate. And it's good to have you here. Hopefully we have you here for a long time. And if you have any questions, then feel free to ask those to me as well. But you are already here. Hopefully you can hear me on the live stream. Okay, good. Right. As always, when I do a Trend Rider stream, I always say to everyone, if you're new and you have no idea what the Trend Rider is, then you can either tell me to go through the rules again on the stream, and I'm happy to do that. Don't want to repeat myself for people who are normally turning up to that, but obviously also don't want to leave people out if they don't know what's going on. But there is a video and PDF documents that you can download, howtotrade.com. In our Trading Academy, under our trading strategies, you'll see module number 4, the Trend Rider, a strategy by Mario Singh, and also not just the video, but also 3 different PDFs, trade examples, a trading guide, and an overview of the strategy as well. So I do recommend that you check that one out. No worries, Israel, but I hope you're doing well, and thank you very much, and welcome, of course. Yes, sir. Matthew or Mehdi in YouTube channel, do you have this TP strategy even for the Trend Rider? No. The Trend Rider strategy is a different strategy. The Trend Rider strategy, I use the ADX indicator to determine my exit. Simple as that. I don't mess around with 1-to-1, closing half, etc. On the Trend Rider strategy, I leave the exit strategy alone. Is it something I could implement potentially? But I'm testing it at the moment on a separate account. I'm going to log into that account now, so I'm going to show you the stuff that we've done. But no, I don't alter my stop loss. No, I don't. Right, so I'm going to assume now that people understand what I'm talking about when it comes to the Trend Rider. And let's just talk about some of the positions that we had open, particularly oil, because that was really the main one I had this week, the main one that I was following. So I'm just going to put those moving averages onto the screen now and show you really what the trade looked like. So we entered the market at, I think it was roughly about here. And as you can see, the market did come into some profit. I was checking the ADX indicator. I didn't have a signal to exit. I did say that I was a little bit concerned that we'd run into sort of a higher time frame order block or demand zone down here at 68.2. And, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Maybe I should have closed it there, but it's not my strategy. You know, I don't use smart money concepts for the Trend Rider. I use the Trend Rider. Got into some good profit. If you manage to close out, that's great. I got a re-entry there. And then as you can see, we come out and hit our stop loss level. And for full transparency, hopefully, You can probably see that at the bottom. Those two losses there on oil, those two there, they were the ones that we lost. And that's fine. Okay, so we took a loss on oil. No problem at all. Actually, I've tried a couple of times on oil now and it's not really worked out, which is a little bit frustrating. It might be, I'm doing this at my own risk, remember, because the trend rider strategy doesn't really say that you should use it on oil, but I've just sort of been trying to test it out a little bit. So it didn't work out, and that's fine. And once a trade doesn't work out, we don't dwell on it or anything like that. We just move on and we look at some new opportunities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through top to bottom and just have a look to see what the situation is at the moment. Now, obviously, what we need to be careful of is, I always say to myself, we always want to try and get in at the first test of that EMA 12. So as you can see on cable, on the pound versus US dollar, we had that bearish crossover. We had our first touch here, which would have been a beautiful sell. And since then, we've had multiple tests. There's been a couple of times we threatened to go above the EMA 36, but, just slam back to the downside. And as you can see right now, pretty much since I've been on the this new candle started about 12 minutes ago, we were right on that EMA 12 again. And people will be asking the question, well, can I go short, or could I have gone short here? Well, you can see the stop loss here is 26 pips. So, take that if you will. It's 30 pips is meant to be the is the guideline for this. Now, a member of the community sent me a very interesting question, and I think it's a brilliant question, and it's something that I've started to look at. As per the rules of the strategy, we use a 30 pip gap between these EMAs, right? We know that. But this person said to me, well, what about on dollar yen, for example, when the pip value is different? And even if the gap between the EMAs is like that, it normally is like 50, 60 pips. And it's something that I thought about as well. Now, this person said that why don't we, instead of using 30 pips, use percentages. So use 0.3%. Like, for example, when you draw this info line, it gives you the pip 26, but it gives you how much that is in percentage of that particular pair. So that's 0.2%. It's a very interesting question, and I, as I say, I'm only saying this to you if it's something you want to adopt. If you want to follow the rules of the strategy, just how the strategy is, that's fine, which is a 30 pip gap and major US dollar pairs. But if you want to evolve the strategy and add things to it, one of the things is obviously we can add different markets like the stock market, gold and oil. Oil hasn't really worked out by doing that. And the other thing that we can potentially do is utilize this 0.3% theory, where we use a 0.3% gap, not a 30 pip gap. Interesting. Another thing as well is there isn't anything in there about re-entry. So you wouldn't keep entering here 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%, 2%. You'd have your whole account on this trade. What I would suggest is when the market is trending and you miss the first test, it's fine to get in at the tests that come after, but lower the risk. So I always say to myself, and you saw it with oil, I placed 2% on oil, and then when I got another test, I placed 0.5%. So at every single retest after that, if you want to, use a 0.25% or a 0.5% risk on that. So, for example, you could potentially do that on GBP USD, but the gap isn't big enough just yet. Now, Euro dollar has just been such a fantastic trade, and this is the benefit, A, of remaining patient, and B, getting into these trends early with the trend rider strategy. If you was trading on Euro dollar from the 27th of August to the 30th of September, so a whole month of trading, you'd have been stuck in this. And you would have thought, oh, this strategy just doesn't, it never gives me an opportunity. Like, why is it not trending? Like, the market doesn't trend all the time. In fact, it trends only sort of 20, 30% of the time. If you remain patient and you wait for that next trend to form, and we have no bias on whether that trend is bullish or bearish, you can see the power of getting involved early doors. What I would say at the moment on Euro dollar I mean, yeah, I mean, how can you argue that the next time we get a test of this area, we've got a 30, currently got a 36 pip gap, it's 0.33%. Lots of green ticks here. The only red cross that I've got with this is that obviously, I mean, look how far we've come, and also look how many entries you've had already. So you would be entering at quite a low level. So again, it is an opportunity, but just think about lowering that risk. Because I think what will happen at some point is we might not just get an instant bullish reversal and then we can catch exactly the same thing on the way up. Markets don't really work like that. What may happen is we might get some chop and churn for a bit. It might look horrific. It might just be awful for a month or so. Literally, look, it feels like that. But when that happens, all that's doing is building liquidity, and then we're building up for the next trend, the next move. And all we've got to be is ready to go when that next move happens, whether it's to the downside or to the upside. So I've got my eyes on Eurodollar, but I'm not quite looking for it at the moment. Okay, Nancy, do you have a video I can learn on your trading strategy, Connor? Do you mean the Trend Rider one? USD Swiss franc, we can see those moving averages start to... And do please ignore the rest of the drawings I've got on there. This is from my other analysis, my normal analysis, 0.19% there. So we're not looking to trade USD Swiss franc. The moving averages are starting to join. And I always find that once we start getting tests of the EMA 36 and sort of close, that trend is going to maybe start to come to an end. Dollar yen. On the 1 hour, I noticed this earlier. If you look here on dollar yen, what was it? Yesterday, 37 pip gap, only 0.25%. So this is an example where it didn't really matter if it was 0.3% or not. You can see that trade still managed to work out quite nicely. And look at that. That if you manage to catch that, I mean, you're on for an absolute winner there on dollar yen. As I say, these opportunities will keep coming, guys. There's no need to panic. What you notice is, as we got that breakout, we had an opportunity to go long. In fact, did we catch? If I look at my trend rider for this month, we did actually catch dollar yen at 146 down here, 146.0. That was a couple of weeks ago, 146.095. So down here, we actually caught onto here. We had an exit signal up here, but we've actually gone even higher. There may be a suggestion here that to evolve this strategy, we should think about when the ADX crosses back below 40, instead of closing all of the trade out and just letting it and just going, right, that's it. Maybe we could think about leaving a little portion of the trade on, just in case we get another wave in our direction, like happened here. Slight pause, boom, another wave. Imagine if I was on that as well. We'd be on, another couple of % profit there. So that's something that I'm going to think about in the future. Just think about leaving just a little bit of the trade, even if it's just like a quarter of the trade on. Move that stop loss to entry, leave a quarter of the trade on. You're risk free then, it doesn't matter. And then imagine you catch on to like a huge trend which goes 1,000 pips, which is not ridiculous to suggest, is it? Nancy, you can go onto the howtotrade.com website, join our trading room. It's completely free. In our education section, we have a whole host of courses, but also we have our trading strategies pre-built here, and the one here called the Trend Rider is the one that I stream on every week, and you can find that one here as well. And you can watch the video on that and download the PDFs, but you'll need to join the trading room at howtotrade.com in order to access that. Okay, let's have a quick look at dollar CAD, and remember the Bank of Canada will be delivering its next interest rate decision. At the moment, those moving averages are too close. We can't really trade that at the moment. Same with Aussie US dollar. In fact, I'm long on this, but we can't really trade that either. But again, another fantastic. Basically, this dollar bull run that we've seen has been, any of those markets has been fantastic on the trend rider. Okay, gold. Who managed to catch on to gold? Because I didn't. But look, clear bullish crossover. One test there. Imagine you got in there. But also another test up here. Again, moving higher. So at the moment, gold isn't in a tradable position for me. But if we do get another test of this EMA 12, you can see 0.96% is the gap between the EMA. So I'd say it's a good enough gap. And then we can look to try and continue this gold, fantastic, amazing gold trend that we've seen at the moment. S&P 500, a little bit difficult because you can see, those moving averages joining together again. The US 30, we're getting a bearish crossover, but it's only the initial stages. The NASDAQ, 0.23% gap there, but if you want to play, a high risk play for today would be, and this is really high risk, if you're confident in some stock market bullishness, you could maybe, and it's not really following the rules, to be honest with you, I don't really like it, I'm not going to do it myself, but you could potentially look to trade it from this current retest we see at the moment, but as I say, I'm not interested in doing that. Nothing really on the DAX either, and oil, again, we're starting to see those moving averages combine, and so there isn't much opportunity there either. The US 2000, wow, the Russell, yeah, look at that. Beautiful move higher there in the Russell if you manage to catch on to that. Now that trend started to reverse. The gap is currently 0.5%. So let's just see how this unfolds. Let's see when those moving, if we get another leg lower, how those moving averages will expand away from each other, converge, and then we can potentially get in at a test there as well. Why not? And to conclude, really, I mean, Aussie dollar, US dollar, again, look, you can't really trade this at the moment, and gang, you can't really trade this at the moment because those moving averages are showing us that the market is in a state where it's starting to pause. Those moving averages are joining together, and so it's not really in a position to trade just yet. So really, there isn't a great deal of opportunity right this second on the trend rider. But that doesn't mean we should just forget about it. All that means is when you get a situation where there isn't quite an opportunity, we just take a step back from it. We give it a couple of days. We come back in a couple of days and we do exactly what I've just done there, top to bottom, and have a look at some more opportunities. Remember, we only need to expose ourselves to one. I've placed, this is since the 2nd of October. Currently, we're in profit for the month, okay? 2% profit for the month so far. Yes, we lost the last trade. We was up 4% before that. Up 2% so far. I don't need to rush into any trades for the remainder of this month. If I have a 2% month, that's great. You're talking about 24%. If you do that on average each month, you're talking about 24% profit in the year. So we need to be patient and wait for a clear opportunity in this trend rider strategy. I don't think it's coming just now. We've been spoiled over the last few weeks. There's always, every time I've come on the stream, there's at least one. But as of right now, I can't see anyone that's particularly clear for me, to be honest with you. In terms of the order block on euro dollar, it's been looks to me like it's going to be broken. Yeah. That is not good at all. In fact, if you did trade that order block, you would have actually got an initial reaction. And this is why risk management is so important. Did we reach 1-to-1 there? This is why risk management. So if this is 1-to-1, well, not quite. You would have been lost, but it's unlucky. So yeah, this looks like potentially as well, we're going to see some, this is pretty bearish for euro dollar for sure, especially if we break down below here. Yeah, it's breaking down, but I thought potentially, I always said that this is going to be a really key level for euro dollar. The buyers did step in one day, but then boom, look at that. So there's some real dollar strength in the markets at the moment, and you can see that quite clearly. Some real dollar strength. Just be patient. Don't get FOMO. Don't jump in too hastily. These moves, they will come to us, and we just have to wait and be patient. Okay. Thank you very much, Wizard Alvin. I appreciate that. I'm just going through. Malak, we don't have Telegram, unfortunately. This is what we have to communicate, so you can message me on here. And it does work on gold. I just showed you there. It definitely does work on gold. What a move on silver. Yeah, boom. Here we go, guys. Who wants to try this strategy out on silver? Because we're getting our first test after our bullish cross. I'm going to set myself an alert there. This could be the one. Thank you, Marco. XAG, USD, silver, trend rider. Don't know why I put that. Silver, trend rider. I've set an alert there. I'm going to give this a go. I'm testing it out. I'm giving it a go on all markets. Why not? It's our first. There's our consolidation period. Boom. There's our explosion higher. We've not tested that EMA 12 just yet. Well, we could be coming for a test pretty soon. Be a bit of a wide stop loss, but who cares? Let's see how it goes. Thanks, Marco. We'll see how that one goes for you guys. I'll post this one in the room, should I? I'll post this one in the room. Okay, good stuff. Thank you very much for those who tuned in today and asked questions. That was your Trend Rider stream. I'm sorry that it's not quite been as successful as previous weeks. We've been spoiled. We're 2% up for the month, or I'm 2% up for the month using the Trend Rider strategy. I hope you guys are in some sort of profit. And yeah, let's crack on. Let's hope for some more. Thank you very much for those who tuned in. Thank you very much for your questions today. Do trade the session well. Bank of Canada interest rate decision. Tomorrow, PMI day. It's just a bit of an iffy week, but we'll get through it, and hopefully we can get some, at least if you're not going to trade, stay even for this week.